So what you're saying is Columbia needs to find its inner Michael J. Fox or Christopher Lloyd. Back to the future reference there as we look at the starting lineups for both teams. Connor Amundsen has had a stellar freshman campaign for the Big Green. He is tied for first in the Ivy League in assist-to-turnover ratio. And the Lions inserting Josiah Cunningham instead of Noah Robledo tonight with Geronimo Rubio De La Rosa sidelined for the second straight game due to injury. So Dartmouth with the basketball to start. And they go inside immediately. And no surprise, it's Brandon Mitchell-Day getting the entry pass and finishing at the rim.
Well, nice job running their stuff in the half court. Got the shot they wanted, and you try to get him going early.
Quick release by Cunningham as Dartmouth will have an opportunity to pad its lead. The officials, Vasily Malios, Scott Gooden, and Josh Burden. As Cornish is Pell at Cornell by 12. Had a rough shooting night, just 6 of 28 from beyond the arc. And the man that has the ball right now leads the Ivy League in three-point field goal percentage at 48. Columbia off the steal. Blair Thompson blazing towards the bucket. And it's Amundsen that comes up with the rebound. Mitchell-Day slowed down by Thompson. Romeo Myrthil with the floater. Bedry the denial. And the Lions again looking to push. Nolan cuts past two defenders, lays it in, and we're tied at 2.
Well, that's a start that the Lions really like. Get to the basket quickly, get a nice high percentage shot up.
Cornish missed most of last season due to injury. He has energized this squad this year after having off-season surgery, and he has not missed a beat. The jump stop in the lane, and Thompson there for the rebound. Columbia's 1 for 3 from the field. They trailed Harvard 10-2 last night and played catch-up all throughout the game. Can they get a stronger start tonight? Brown around the Bedry screen, and Columbia unties the knot. So Avery Brown, who was also in double figures, knocks down his first bucket. Amundsen looking for space. And it's stolen by Nolan. He's got a clear path to the bucket, just needs to be Myrtle. Can't finish on the bunny. Bedry's there to clean it up. And Columbia crashing the offensive glass.
Bedry doing a real good job getting down court, what looked like to be an easy layup. He followed it up, finished the play.
The Lions actually won the battle on the glass last night, +3, after losing in that department the previous few contests. Amundsen, with Bedry in his face, drains it, and that pulls Dartmouth within a point.
Both teams coming out attacking each other tonight.
But can Columbia's defense hold up? They've given up 90-plus points in 4 of their 5 Ivy League contests. Bedry short, long rebound. Cunningham nearly had it. It bounces to Myrtle. And Dartmouth now working in the half-court set. The quick release by Amundsen. And Bedry there for the rebound. As Dartmouth 2 for 5 from the field. In the corner is Cunningham. And Amundsen very active on the rebounding front. They knew 2 weeks into the season, Barry, that he was going to be a player. We talked to David McLaughlin. He said he has the it factor as Cornish cannot get the lucky roll.
Well, Coach McLaughlin was very generous with his time in speaking with us on the day of a game and trying to prepare.
Well, when Barry Rorson is in his presence in some capacity, you know he's going to find a little bit more wiggle room as Bedry's looking for exactly that on Jackson Monroe. Can't finish, loose ball tapped around, and Dartmouth wins the battle there.
Well, we appreciate so many of these coaches that share their time with us and give us some insights on their team.
It's a great league filled by great leaders in that department. Monroe from the corner. Nothing but net, holds up 3 fingers, and Dartmouth back in front.
Well, one of the things that Coach McLaughlin said is the pace of play. They really wanted to pick it up this year.
Thompson can't finish, and Dartmouth, to your point, looking to run. Brandon Mitchell-Day going coast to coast with the left hand, count it, plus the foul. And
the 3 S's. He's got size, he's got speed, he's got skill.
So he completes the 3-point play. It's a 9-0 run for Dartmouth. in the last $1.50. Columbia has not scored in over 2 minutes. They go inside to Bedry as Mitchell Day pokes it away. Zeno again with 5 on the shot clock, and this time contact that he draws against Mitchell Day. Percent as a team, first in the Ivy League. He makes 1 of 2. Rebound there by Cameron McNamee, one of the subs for Dartmouth. As Myrthil trying to find his way to the rim and does so over O'Keefe. An 11-1 run for Dartmouth in the last 2.5 minutes. O'Keefe from the corner, ring that up from downtown, and again the bench delivering for the Lions.
Well, O'Keefe's a confident shooter. I mean, he came in there right there, he saw the opening, fired it up.
O'Keefe's in with Nolan, Bedry, Thompson, and Brown on defense for the Lions. That one rattles in and out for Cade Haskins. 90% of his shots this season are from beyond the arc, though he's 0 for 10 now in the last 2+ games. They're going to wave off that buck with McNamee, Haskins, Myrthil, and Amundsen. That one in and out for Kenny, and Haskins grabs the rebound. Under 14 minutes to go here in the first half. And Dartmouth shooting 50% for the field. Amundsen stops in the lane, dumps it inside to Monroe. Trying to solve Bedry, leans in. And Bedry's not having it, and now he's going to play point guard the other way.
Well, Bedry did a nice job holding his ground and then keeping his hands high, not reaching in.
Zeno straight away. And the long rebound goes to Haskins, making his presence felt on the glass. Columbia has hit just 1 of its last 7 field goal attempts. McNamee, the freshman out of California, gives it up to Monroe. And now another first year going to work in Amundsen. The pump fake on Brown and drains it smoothly from 15 feet out.
Well, Lance, you nailed it in your description right there. The pump fake set that whole shot up for him, allowed him to gather his feet, square up his shoulders.
Amundsen's got 5. One of 3 players with that point tally is Avery Brown in cruise control on McNamee. That defensive tenacity, that discipline, given their struggles in that department. And this is a team that could score. They have put up 80+ points in 12 of 18 games. But it has not led to victories when they have to go back and forth with their opponents.
Columbia is an excellent offensive team.
Cornish off the crossover, leaves it for Monroe as they try to play catch here. And we've got contact away from the basketball in for the first time tonight.
Well, you know, they came in right before the under 12. I was just getting ready to mention to you, will we see them under that 12-minute timeout? They got them in before.
Jaden Williams off the bench and immediately puts it through as Dartmouth builds it out to a 5-point advantage. Williams, the junior out of Florida, shooting just 27% in Ivy League play coming in, so that is a positive sign early on. Brown fakes right, dribbles left, finds an alley, goes reverse. And Monroe is there to prevent Columbia's second chance. Cornish spots up Amundsen, in and out, and Tavrov there for the rebound, as Dartmouth has made 5 of its last 8 field goal attempts.
Tavrov picking up right where he left off last night, on the boards.
And he's also an excellent facilitator. He's trying to get an open guy on the wing.
He plays within himself.
8 on the shot clock for Columbia. Robledo to O'Keefe. Now Tavrov with 3. The mid-range game not going to work in his favor, but Robledo the offensive board, and he then throws it away. It's a foot race. Amundsen beats Cobb and gets the roll around the rim while keeping his composure in the half court. And that was the first turnover for Columbia. They had 19 of them last night. It led to 23 points for Harvard. Robledo with a man in his face. And the long rebound tracked down by Amundsen. Up ahead to Haskins. He's a sharp shooter, and you see why. And that 2 minutes, and when your defense is not crisp, Barry, you cannot afford to have a sluggish drought on the offensive side of the ball.
You know, basketball is a game of runs. You'd like to have the most, and you want to have the last.
Cobb off the handoff. Feeds it to Brown. In traffic. He gets blocked, but there was contact as well. They're going to mention, Barry, that he looks like a football player. Well, his cousin is former NFL running back Larry Johnson, most notably with the Chiefs, as O'Keefe gets his shot blocked by Myrtle, follows it to the rim, and goes reverse.
Well, good heads-up play there by O'Keefe. Didn't stop on the play. Went and got that ball right back and made the bucket.
So O'Keefe with 5 points off the bench as that theme continues on back-to-back nights. Amundsen has a step on O'Keefe, leaves it for Mitchell Day, the extra pass to Myrtle, and that is textbook basketball for Dartmouth, which has 5 triples.
Lance, Dartmouth's actually making 10 three-point field goals a game. They're halfway there already.
O'Keefe is getting closer to double figures as he now has 7.
Well, we mentioned that he was a confident shooter. He's showing you that right now.
Beautiful feed inside to the cutting Jaden Williams, who beats Robledo to the spot.
Well, excellent offense right there, spacing the court by the big green.
They have 7 assists on 11 made field goals, and Robledo makes up for the defensive breakdown with a 3 on his end.
Lance, we got a shootout here.
Another 3. Jaden Williams responds.
Bang,
Back
bang,
and forth
bang.
we go. So Williams is perfect from the field, 3 for 3 with 8 points. Tavroff looking to match wits. Well off the mark there. Jake actually has made a 3 this season, the first of his career. Myrtle to Mitchell Day. And ring it up yet again. They're raining trifectas here in the Big Apple. A 6-0 run for Dartmouth. Cobb, how about another? Amundsen the rebound. Dartmouth has made its last 6 field goal attempts in Williams and Myrtle.
Lance, let's remember the second game of a back-to-back. There's going to be a lot of substitutions to keep some fresh legs in there.
And Jim Engels went deep into his bench last night. Dartmouth did too after things got a little out of hand late against Cornell. Cobb all over Amundsen. Stops, fades, and he's short. As Cobb now will look to bring that energy on the opposite end. Spins through traffic, the floater, and Christensen there for the rebound. Myrtle looking to push. And bangs bodies with O'Keefe, as we'll get from the entirety of last night's game. And we still have 7.5 minutes to go here in the first half. As Myrtle's in double figures with 10, the first player in the game to get there. Ritter sets the screen for Cobb. Muscling his way inside and banks it in at the expense of Amundsen.
Well, giving you an example, you don't have to be big to play big. He made a big difference in last night's game. Trying to do the same tonight, Cobb.
Well, and it helps when you're only going up against a 5'11" guy defending you. I can speak from experience, of course, in that department, as Myrtle tries to bounce it to Monroe. Nolan got his hand in the way. But
in your hands. You got to have quick feet. You have to have active hands.
As Monroe was backing Nolan on the play, and they got him as he was trying to reach over. Brown loses it. Fortunately, Thompson was in the right place. As Nolan down the baseline, it was swatted away from behind by Myrtle. Excellent hustle. Jaden Williams, who has yet to miss a shot, will get his first mishap. Cleaned up by Monroe. And Dartmouth making his presence felt underneath.
Monroe, a nice job right there, being Johnny on the spot. Right place, right time.
They're winning the battle on the glass. Dartmouth 15-12. And Ritter fouled as he was trying.
Can chip away, try to get back without time moving off the clock.
And that is a strong suit for the Lions, #1 in the Ivy League. As Kareem Thomas entering for the first time, a freshman out of Delaware replacing Myrtle. Bedry facing up Monroe, now backing his way to the bucket. Noland with 5 on the shot clock. Bedry's got to try to get it up. Nolan's got 1, and it's going to be a shot. Mitchell Day, McNamee, Amundsen, Haskins, and Thomas, the 5 in for Dartmouth. Dartmouth shooting 61% from the field. They've made 7 of their last 9 field goal attempts. Brown all over Amundsen. Mitchell Day stops in the lane and gets fouled by Bedry. He is perfect across the board. He's 3 for 3 for the field, and he is 3 for 3 for the free throw line. Lions need to get their offense going. Can Thompson do it? McNamee there for the rebound. Columbia 2 of 11 from downtown.
Well, one of the things you like with the Big Green offense right now is how they're looking for each other. They have, like, Lance, what you find is there are 2 voices on every team. There's the head coach, and then there's the one that when the door closes behind him, who's doing the talking. When you have a good leader in your locker room, it means so much to the success of a team.
Especially when the message is on point. Brown short, Mitchell Day, a rebound. It's a scoring drought of 2.5 minutes for Columbia, a 14-2 run for Dartmouth, and it'll stay that way momentarily. Thompson went for the loose ball with McNamee. And Thompson cannot take advantage of the second. They feed it inside to Amundsen. Sealed off by 2 defenders. Haskins is a 3-point shooter, but this time he gets closer to the rim and lays it in. Columbia trying to respond. Bedry on Mitchell Day. The baby hook. And Mitchell Day and Cunningham fighting for the loose ball. Cunningham having trouble getting it in play. Finally finds Noland in the corner. Lions are shooting 31% for the field, and it's going to stay that way and even get lower. Thompson off the offensive board. Noland from the corner swishes it through, and that finally stops the bleeding.
Huge bucket right there for the Lions. Credit Thompson finding that rebound, getting the extra possession, and then seeing the man open free in the corner.
Just the 3rd make from beyond the arc for Columbia on 14 attempts. Speaking of threes, Williams lets one fly. Haskins and
Team of turnovers with 2.
They have 9 assists on 16 made field goals.
Well, Columbia actually has more shots taken, 31 to 27. They just got to make a few of them.
As Bedry trying to spot up Noland off the backdoor cut. Williams, excellent hands, is able to knock it out of his and get it into McNamee's security as Dartmouth now back in business on offense. McNamee hesitant there, and it leads to a turnover. Nolan just trying to find space. Cunningham down the baseline, and Columbia operating with a lid on the bucket. They'll reset with Amundsen. Haskins off the pump. Drills another trifecta as Haskins, who has been struggling immensely. He was 0 for 7 last night. Well, he's 3 for 4 tonight.
Well, he did a great job using that shot fake right there to buy him some room.
Columbia has made 1 of its last 8 field goal attempts. Meanwhile, Dartmouth can't miss. Williams off the curl. Brown the rebound. And Columbia needs a spark. Will it be Bedry? Yes, it will. The 4th made 3 for the Lions.
Well, Bedry, that has taken so many shots inside tonight, 1 for 6. Now he unleashes from outside.
Amundsen has received a lot of attention from this Columbia backcourt. They read the scouting report. That one, no rim, just glass. And Kenny Nolan looking to lead the charge. Nolan's got 5 points tonight, and that shot is blocked, but there was also contact. 1 of 3. Just over a minute to go in the first half. And Columbia trying to go on a run to cut into this massive deficit. Mitchell Day feeds it to the Cunning Williams. Working on Cunningham. And he gets the roll at the rim. Jaden Williams.
Time to playing a back-to-back game in their career in college.
Well, specifically Amundsen, who starts for Dartmouth, as Nolan goes strong to the rim. Bedry had a piece of the basketball. Amundsen with 7 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. And he was coached by his father, Tony, in high school, who played at Pacific and then pro basketball in Europe in the 90s. So you can understand why the transition has been smooth, as Mitchell Day, off a tough angle, is going to head to the free throw line. Why they're a different team is Rich Gleesman, who joined the coaching staff, who coached in Japan the last 6 seasons, really has given them a new perspective, as Avery Brown cannot get it to bounce his way. If that's not a microcosm of the first half, I don't know what is. Mitchell Day pressed by Bedry and fouled. That'll be the 6th.
Well, that puts Bedry with his 2nd foul. So close to that halftime buzzer.
And now Avery Brown picks up a foul. 2nd one to roll in. So 4.5 seconds to go here. Brown is going to have to put it up. And Columbia, that pressure on Mitchell Day. And Nolan with Cornish every step of the way. Cornish did not score in the first half. He was 0 for 2 from the field. He had 28 points last night, a new season high, yet Cornell is still leading by 22, which just goes to show you how balanced this squad is when they don't even need their top scorer to get on the board.
Well, Haskins is kind of made up for that, coming off the bench with 8 points.
Cornish with 10 on the shot clock. Difficult shot. Thompson there for the rebound. And Columbia now looking to get its offense going. They shot just 30% from the field in the first 20 minutes. They go with the same 5 that started the game. Down low to Bedry, right between 2, and gets it to bounce off the back iron and in.
Well, that's a nice way to start. You looked at the way the ball moved amongst multiple players, multiple touches. They wind up with a shot at the rim.
Amundsen leaves it for Monroe straight away, and the 2 gets canceled out by the 9th 3 for Dartmouth. Six different players have made at least one tray for the Big Green. Bedry, back-to-back buckets to start the second half.
Well, that could be a good sign for both Bedry and Columbia. If he could pick up that offense and convert a few of those shots that didn't go his way in the first half, that could breathe some life into him and then just get content.
Mention the confidence that a guy like Bedry can gain. If they can't, though, have that same level of efficiency and energy on defense, it almost defeats whatever you are accomplishing on offense, because you're going to get into that shootout mentality again, as Cornish, looking for space, loses the ball. Bedry dives on the ground, avoids the jump ball, at least for now, and now they're going to...
With the score like this, there's got to be no doubt who comes up with them.
Well, that was 60-40, because they avoided calling it in favor of Cornish getting a hand on it. Noland off the left side with the right hand, partially blocked by Monroe. Monroe's been an excellent rebounder this season as well. Wide open is Amundsen, and how about 10 threes for Dartmouth to get near 60 points?
The beauty of that play, the ball rarely even touch the floor.
Bedry there to clean up Brown's miss. Zeno with 6 points alone here in the second half.
Well, that matched his entire total for the first half.
So he is up to 12, and he's 2 away from tying his season high. Monroe already hit a 3 right through the heart of the Columbia D, and the exclamation point at the rim. Bedry's had the hot hand. Now he's got to work on Mitchell Day, loses his footing, but they're going to get the foul. McLaughlin says he's got a great feel for the floor, and we're seeing that on both ends. Thompson from the corner, off the mark. Amundsen the rebound. Dartmouth's hit its last 3 field goal attempts. Can they make it 4 for 4? Connor short. Thompson the rebound. Nolan sees an opening. It closes quickly, though. Backing his way to the bucket. The backcourt going to work. Avery with the left hand and a blocking foul against Penn. And now we see the full court press by the Lions here to try to disrupt this Dartmouth offense, which is not slowed down. They're still shooting 58% for the field.
And the Big Green counter it a little bit, having a big man bring it up in Mitchell Day.
Amundsen back to Monroe. They play catch. He has space. And again, 11 threes for Dartmouth as Connor hits his 3rd.
Well, you speak about a coach's son. He really knows how to play the game.
O'Keefe, the fadeaway, finds the bottom of the net. He's up to 9.
O'Keefe giving the Lions a nice lift tonight.
Somehow Mitchell Day gets that pass to Monroe. Fakes the back door, tries to go top to Amundsen. Avery's got one man to beat and glides through the air for the lay-in. A rare turnover for Dartmouth. That was their 5th.
Well, Brown showing you a nice burst of speed there.
So Avery now has scored in double figures in all 6 Ivy League games. Cornish around the Monroe screen. Fade away. He's 0 for 4 from the field. Brown again on the attack. With the right hand, off the left. Avery with back-to-back. With Thompson, Brown, Cobb, O'Keefe, and Tavroff. And Mitchell Day and company break it down. Haskins has room and delivers. Cade Haskins, a completely different player in the span of 24 hours. 4 for 5 tonight. He was 0 for 7 last night.
Big Green might have been expecting a press on that. They did a nice job breaking it. When you have a guy, a big man with skills like Day, who can just touch and pass the ball, it really helps when you're breaking a press.
Well, and it's a bonus.
Last night and tonight.
As the second semester just getting underway here at Columbia. So the student body represented. Speaking of the students, Cobb can't get it to bounce his way. It's a hot potato, and McNamee comes down with it.
That's just one of those chip shots again. Doesn't go in.
The Lions are shooting 36% for the field, so it's up slightly from the break when they were at 30. Dartmouth at 59, and somehow it's improved for them. Mitchell Day with 16 points, and they're going to get a reach in on Tavroff. Fighting for position. Amundsen feeds it in the corner to Haskins. They're going to a Dartmouth turnover, giving the ball back to Columbia.
Boy, just your sneaker being one size too big.
Well, considering he's 6'6", something tells me the foot is not too kind to the sideline there. Brown, the up and under, and draws the foul on Myrtle, so Avery will go to the line. 2. And that at least gives Columbia an opportunity to set up the press. Everybody know now dropping back is Cornish. Splits 2 defenders and gets it across to Williams, who's had the hot hand. Rifles it to Haskins and give him another. Cade Haskins, unconscious. 14 points and 4 threes, making up for his struggles and then some.
Well, he loves the bright lights of Broadway.
Avery Brown from Tavroff, in and out. And Monroe, again, strong on the glass. That is 8 boards for him. He averages just under 6 a game. Speaking of rebounds, Tavroff comes up with one. Cobb splits 2 defenders, the scoop, Brown the follow. And what can Brown do for you? You now know what.
Well, you love his hustle tonight.
Avery's got 15. Haskins from way downtown. Off the back iron a few times. And Columbia looking to pick up the pace here. Still down by 22. O'Keefe, the pull-up jumper. Tavroff, Haskins, and Williams fighting for it. And Williams comes out of the pile. And you could tell, even with a comfortable lead, Barry, Dartmouth is looking to keep this strong pace. They're not slowing things down at all. That's the difference from last year's team to this year's team. Cornish to Haskins off the pump, and he's going to be fouled from 3-point range.
Well, you mentioned it before. It's one of those cardinal sins. You never want to foul someone shooting from 3.
And he makes 2 of 3, so Haskins up to 16 points. He actually has a 32-point game this season, so he's only halfway home to his season and career high. And Avery Brown piling it up. He's got 17. Mason Ritter back in the game with Robledo, O'Keefe, Cobb, and Brown. Dartmouth with Monroe. Haskins off the handoff, this time off the mark. McNamee, Cornish, and Williams round out their 5. Lions working it around the perimeter. Cobb from Ritter. And McNamee sky high for the rebound. As Dartmouth is +2 on the glass. Cobb off the steal, has a clear path, and finally is able to finish at the rim as McNamee came in at the very last second.
Cobb, nice job, quick feet, quick hands, and raced all the way to the basket.
Dartmouth does not have a field goal in over 2.5 minutes. It's been all at the line. Ill-advised pass from Cornish to Monroe, stolen by O'Keefe. 2-on-1 break. O'Keefe draws the contact, no foul, blocked. Robledo, the follow, and he will earn a trip to the line. There was a 4-game span in December he was out due to a groin issue. And they now need him to further elevate his game with Geronimo Rubio De La Rosa sideline. And scoring was not a problem last night as they put up 82. Tonight, different story. Columbia, though, on a 6-0 run. Williams trying to end it, and does so with yet another triple. 14 made threes for the Big Green. Brown jabs right, dribbles left. O'Keefe off the pump. And Williams boxes out Robledo. He's doing it all. 5 players are in double figures for Dartmouth, including Mitchell Day. Ritter grabbing the board, and the Lions now off to the races. Brown through the legs. The scoop shot somehow gets it to go. Are you kidding? And the Lions again showing a press. They've cut the deficit down to 18 with 9.5 minutes to go. Is there more gas in the tank? They've got to keep eyes on Haskins. Dangerous skip pass goes to Myrthil. 10 on the clock for Mitchell Day. And we're going to get a foul on Robledo. He's trying to muscle him.
Well, Poulikitis. We didn't see Lilly yet. I mean, you have some outstanding shooters in the league.
But last night, Robert Hinton and Chandler Piget of Harvard. As Mitchell Day will earn another trip to the line. Inches shorter. So Mitchell Day makes 1 of 2. Cobb gets it to Noland. Robledo straight away, and he is able to find the bottom of the net. A big hoop for Robledo as well as the team. Just their 5th made 3 on 20 attempts.
Big hoop with a big arc. You see how that shot went into the sky.
And Mitchell Day cannot finish. So the Lions now have an opportunity in transition. Cobb to the house. Gianni to the rescue again off the bench. And now it's a 14-point game.
Well, if the Lions are going to catch up, that's their play right there. Okay, you bang a 3 from the outside, you come back, play some good defense, finish it up with another quick 2.
Amundsen out to Myrthil, who again...
Percentage, they have more field goals now than they had the entire first half and more free throws. It's just that the offense for the Big Green right now is such in sync. They're hitting everything.
55% from the field, 15 trays, compared to just 5 for Columbia. So they're plus 10 from the three-point line alone. Robledo can't get the hook to go. And Mitchell Day leading the charge back the other way. Cornish spots up. Cobb with the rebound. Dartmouth just +1 on the glass. The Lions won the battle last night. It was the first time they lost this season when winning on the rebounding front.
Well, generally, when you can control the boards, you can control the game.
Noland with the left hand switches and drops it through on the floater. And now Cunningham up in the grill of Cornish. Columbia's made 4 of its last 5 field goal attempts. Dartmouth has led by as many as 25 in this game, which it stands at right now. Loose ball tapped around. Robledo from right to left. And Jim Engels calls a time after a made basket. Mitchell Day, dangerous pass. Intercepted by Noland, and here's another opportunity to cash in. That was the 10th turnover for the Big Green.
Well, good job by the Lions there reading that.
They go inside to Ritter. 8 on the shot clock for Cobb. Gianni puts his head down and draws the contact. As Columbia has an opportunity to press. Haskins somehow feeds it into Cornish. The Lions relentless. Myrtle has to go high, saves it. Can they get it across? Yes, they can. It's a 6-0 Columbia run. Haskins puts his head down and finishes with a rare deuce. A man that has 90% of his attempts from three-point land decides to take advantage of a clear path, and you can't blame him. Bedry on Monroe, turning right, left, and every which way to call glass.
Well, Bedry was determined right there to get to his strong hand and find his way to the basket.
Wide open is Myrtle. Romeo, oh Romeo. And it's back to a 14-point lead.
We are on Broadway, Lance, huh?
Where art thou? Yes. Cobb off the spin. Monroe the rebound. And Dartmouth just has a knack for a response. Every time, Barry, it seems Columbia finds rhythm. They go inside to Monroe. He telegraphed that one. Thompson broke it up.
Nice help right there by Blair Thompson reading that.
Bedry out in the corner to Cobb. And Monroe is now up to double figures in rebounds. He's got 7 points and 10 boards. He already has a double-double this season. They go inside to that man. The baby hook. Give him 9 points. 1 away from a double dip. Cobb off the crossover. And Myrtle is not going to slow things down as Dartmouth has hit its last 3 field goal attempts. They're trying to get Amundsen open. Cornish working on Cunningham, and as he goes up, draws the contact, so
teammates have really responded and picked that up.
And then some, I would add, to that statement. 17-point lead. Bedry pulls up, and after a few bounces, is able to add to his individual tally. He's up to 16. Thompson takes the ball away. The 12th turnover for Dartmouth.
The presses really helped. Dartmouth had very low turnovers in the first half.
And Nolan up and in from beyond the arc. The 6th make for Columbia from that range. And a foul capitalizes on both. So all 3 of his points have come at the line. As we approach 3 minutes to go here in the second half. Noland off the curl, behind the back, gets it to Bedry, and Bedry is able to lay it in. He's up to 18.
Well, Nolan with a great job turning the corner right there, and then the drop-off.
Each team has made its last 3 field goal attempts. Columbia within 12. Monroe takes over with 10 on the shot clock. Amundsen's been quiet here in the second half. 5 to work with. Spins and contact on Avery Brown. So Dartmouth now at 91 points. Columbia's played 6 Ivy League games. 5 opponents have scored 90 plus. Princeton the only one that failed as Bedry gets the 3 to roll in. Dartmouth has committed 12 turnovers. It's led to 16 points for Columbia. And they break it down to perfection. Cornish, though, trapped in no man's land and gets rid of it to Haskins as we approach 2 minutes. 13 on the shot clock. They trap Cornish again. They've got to be careful here and not foul. 7 on the shot clock for Amundsen. He's got 2 defenders to handle. 2 to go. The fadeaway jumper, and somehow gets it to go. The first-year player in the clutch coming through.
Everything going right for the Big Green.
And everything rolling the way of Avery Brown, who is up to 22. And that is a new career high for him. A steal by Avery. Can he handle the basketball? He does. Gets the outlet. Cunningham wide open, lets it fly. And Myrthil saves it to Cornish. Just over a minute to go. Nearly stolen by Cunningham. Amundsen is able to secure it and draws the foul against. They're in a position to lose a game because an opponent has surpassed 90. So off the missed free throw, Avery Brown going reverse and finishing at the rim again.
No quit.
Myrthil enters the front court. Day inbounding. He gets it to Cornish. They trap him, but now Thompson picks up the foul. And now Dartmouth is now going to have the new high with 95 points. And their high this season, 88 against a D1 opponent. Noland well off the mark. Bedry there to clean it up off the offensive glass as he pads his new career high with 23. They trap Cornish, trying to split 2 defenders, somehow spins out of it, and Cornish is now on a clear path into the front court. And the Lions trying to get a jump ball, they do, and the possession arrow is in favor. Lions have made 7 of their last 9 field goal attempts. They try to feed it inside to Bedry, and Amundsen, because of the height disparity, had no...
Just trying to pick it up, tighten the screws defensively, okay? That could give you a better chance to come away with...
on the game. Monroe having trouble, gets it to Cornish again, loses the ball. Thompson picks it up, no foul, it rolls out, and it was last time. Bedry puts up the three. O'Keefe there for the rebound. The fadeaway. And two misses